Hey yo, T King Fight News. Let's talk about this one. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the rematch that could happen towards the end of the year now because of the coronavirus. Y'all know what it is, man. But let's talk about the problems Deontay Wilder needs to fix right now. If he even thinks about going through with a rematch, he needs to fix these problems. Otherwise, the result will likely be the same. Y'all know what it is. Z King Fight News. We got more on this. All right, guys. Back in the building, man. You King Fight News. Okay. So, Deontay Wilder, it was as little as 3 months ago. There was a story that came out on Forbes' website that everybody ran with. Boxing scene ran with it. And it was rubbish. It was total rubbish. And I had to come out my channel and say, you know what? Deontay Wilder is a great puncher, but he belongs nowhere on nobody's pound for pound list. Nowhere. He's not a pound for pound fighter. I said it then, and I'm going to say it now, because guess what? Whoever put this out there, who works for Forbes magazine, this guy, whoever put this out there, who works for Forbes magazine, it's right now it's laughable, isn't it? Tell me I'm lying. Right now it's laughable. Deontay Wilder is not a pound for pound boxer. He doesn't have the skills of a pound for pound boxer. He doesn't have the defense of a pound for pound fighter. He doesn't have the jab. Most pound for pound great fighters have a great jab, don't they? And it's not to hate on the dude. It's got nothing to do with that. But he doesn't have the balance, right? There's a lot of things that right hand makes up for. There's a lot of things. But I think the key area that failed him the most in this fight, in the rematch, was his chin. Deontay Wilder, as great as you think he is, because he's got a missile for a right hand, his chin, to me, is an issue right now. Right now, it's an issue mainly because he just got knocked out. And what I mean by that is, if you've watched great fighters later in their careers, their punch resistance goes down, especially after they've been knocked out. I've seen it time and time again. The prime example, of course, is Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. got KO'd, one shot, one hitter quitter against Antonio Tarver, the great Antonio Tarver that actually wants to help Deontay Wilder. Right? Roy Jones got knocked out. And it's never been the same since. Right? He came back. He did a rematch with Tarver. He went the distance. Then he got knocked out by the likes of Danny Green and some other light heavyweights that really are, but most notably, he did get knocked out by a light puncher in Glenn Johnson, I think a year later. Right? So punch resistance wasn't there with Roy Jones Jr. Deontay Wilder, he took a hell of a beating. The corner stopped it. It's a great stoppage because he could have taken a lot more damage in that fight, and I feel like that result was always going to be a TKO stoppage the way he was getting hit. Right? He's got a history of getting hurt against guys that aren't really massive punchers. Luis Ortiz, not known for one shot knockout power, hurt Deontay Wilder several times in that fight. And even before that, there's a video on my channel. Deontay Wilder, young in his career. I get it. He's fighting a guy with a huge height disadvantage. He's kind of a stocky fellow. Deontay Wilder gets dropped. Right? He gets dropped by a shot that really he has no business getting hit with. It's on my channel. It's called Deontay Wilder Knocked Down. Right? So, with all that in mind, is Deontay Wilder's chin an issue? Right? He just got knocked out by Tyson Fury. He'll be going into a rematch with Tyson Fury. If his chin isn't sturdy enough to take these shots, well, guess what, you guys? You can't fix a chin. The only thing you can fix, that's right, is your defense, which he's severely lacking in that department. Tyson Fury was able to hit Deontay Wilder at will. At will. Right? And like it or not, Deontay Wilder he really needs a guy in his corner like a Nazim Richardson, just to show him the little things, man. Just to show him, tuck your chin in, bro. Tuck your chin in, maybe behind the shoulder, and behind that left shoulder when you're throwing a long jab. Right? Maybe he needs a Bernard Hopkins in his corner. Maybe he needs somebody just to give him that game. Because he's not getting it. He just isn't getting it. And you can only go so far when you're knocking out guys like Dominic Brazil. A guy that really had no business being in a mandatory. He had no business being a WBC mandatory. Right? Deontay Wilder. And I'm not gonna say he ducked anybody, but he could have did that Dillian White fight. I'll say Dillian White should have fought Luis Ortiz back in the day. He should have, because that would have put his stamp on being mandatory, right? He would have been mandatory 2 years ago if he fought Luis Ortiz. It didn't happen. But Deontay Wilder's opposition does not help him when you fight bum level opponent like a Dominic Brazil. Like, Gerald Washington's. And his first step up was Luis Ortiz. Let's remember, going into the first Tyson Fury fight, he was supposed to knock Tyson Fury out in like 5 rounds. 3 or 4, he was supposed to knock Tyson Fury out. It wasn't supposed to be a fight, a competitive fight. It was not supposed to be competitive. The rhetoric going into the fight was Fury's coming off the couch. This is a crowning moment for Wilder. It's time for him to put his stamp on the division and, become lineal champion. That was the rhetoric going into the fight. It didn't happen. Deontay Wilder was too little too late in the 12th round, and he could not finish his man off. And if he just had if he had gone to the drawing board coming out of that first fight and said, hey, maybe I got to work on my defense a bit. Maybe I got hit too much. Instead, it's like he got gassed up even more off that 12th round and said, all I got to do is be right for 2 seconds. Shit, I'll be okay. Shit, I didn't do nothing wrong. I almost knocked him out. Literally. I really feel like he didn't consider the fact that he was being outboxed, outmaneuvered, and outpunched by the lighter-fisted fighter in Tyson Fury. And he also didn't consider that Tyson Fury wasn't punching with full power. So he went out into the media and said, hey, this guy is pillow-fisted. This guy has no power. He went in there with full confidence, thinking he could run through all these shots. And like it or not, Glovegate or not, Glovegate doesn't happen if you don't get hit with those shots. Point blank and period. There's a reason why Floyd Mayweather was number 1 pound for pound for so many years, because he had a great defense. Because even if guys wanted to cheat against him, they couldn't get by his defense. That's why guys like Victor Ortiz had to throw his head at him. That's why guys like fucking Marcos Maidana, had to bite his hand. Because that defense was too secure. It was impenetrable. It was brilliant. And even when he did get hit, he could be able to adjust and take your opponent's best weapon away from him. Did Deontay Wilder ever try and take away Tyson Fury's jab in the fight? Not once. He said, I can eat that shit. Well, guess what? Fighters like that belong nowhere on a pound-for-pound list. Fighters like that are looking to be upset when you run into a guy that, like a Tyson Fury, man, give him flack for all this extra shit. Okay, investigate him, whatever you want to do, but don't act like he's not a good fighter. Don't act like it's an easy fight, because that's how you run into your first loss. That's how you do it when you underestimate your opposition. That's exactly how you do it. So tell me where I'm wrong about this. Deontay Wilder needs to work on his defense, guys, or else he's not going to be a great heavyweight. And as much as you thought he could hit 50-0, he was never going to hit 50-0. It was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. So it's DK fight. Let me know what you guys think, man. I always try and keep it 100 with you guys, but you know what? Sometimes the truth hurts. And that's just what it is, man. It's King Fight News. And you know what? Peace.